What's up, everybody? Thanks for giving this video a click. My name is Killer B. Well, that's not my real name, but my name is Tyler. But you can call me Killer B. Today I am watching a game between MBL and Bact. Thanks for giving this video a click. This is a really good match. These two players played a set of 4 on Pi Day 314, and this I think is the best match of the set. We can see that this is a Huns War. MBL will be in blue, and he will be to the south of the map. If we look quickly, we can wait and see where the 4th villager goes for MBL, see if we're going to see a drush. In the meantime, we see MBL's main gold is on the back. He has plenty of structure here if he wants to wall some of this up. Berries will be on the front. If he does wall himself, he may wall out a lot of his resources. Secondary gold to the side, primary stone on the front. The 4th villager for MBL did not go to wood, so we might not expect a drush out of MBL. On the other side, we can see Bact does have 4 on wood, potentially some early pressure from Bact. Main gold on the back for Bact. Not a ton of structure here to work with. He can definitely block off both sides, but in blocking off the front seems very difficult. Main stone on the front here for Bact, secondary gold on the front as well. So all in all, not a terrible map for either player. Both players should be able to safely take their gold in the back of their area, but they will both need to push out of that initial base in the castle age. So we see Bact here pushing some deer, luring in a boar, and starting to grab berries. Pretty normal Dark Age for Bact. At the moment, we are on 14 population. In the meantime, on the other side, we see MBL really doing the same thing, just lured in the boar, pushing that deer toward the TC, and going to start up the action on berries. So, very normal Dark Age here for both of these guys. As Huns, gathering food this much early, unless you're going to close yourself in Fast Castle, we often see 21 or 22 villagers before going up, and we'll wait and see till that time comes. So, Bact will have some extra wood in the bank. We'll have to watch him and see if he decides to drop a barracks, or if he decides to just hold on to that little bit of extra wood. In the meantime, he has found his last 2 sheep. He's also found the lone precarious wolf. Interesting boar lure here from MBL, having to do a downhill lure. You probably didn't see it, but that was a one-shot boar lure for the moment, because this villager is not loomed. MBL wanted to get to the bottom of the hill before taking any hits from it. A little bit of a risky play, but it worked out for him beautifully. In the end, he will lure that boar in perfectly and get back to work. So nice little boar lure there from MBL. Good start to the game for him. On the other side, we see Bact luring in his boar. That looks relatively uneventful. Flat ground boar lure, and he's going to drop it right under the TC beautifully. Still pushing deer is Bact. On the other side, we can see MBL has given up on that. In fact, if we look at the Fog of War, we can see that MBL is now forward, and he's getting an idea of what Bact has to offer, what his map has to offer. Interestingly, MBL will not see the berries here from Bact. He will, however, find the gold on the back, which is important. Maybe he's even clicking on those piles real quick to see if they have been mined. He'll also find this woodline from Bact, and he'll do a nice little job scouting around. Bact, on the other hand, will be a little bit later in his scouting, since he was pushing some deer in. We can see Bact is just now coming forward, and he will eventually find MBL. So we work our way through the Dark Age. At the moment, both players on 20 vills. Would expect to see them build 1 or 2 more and click up, but we will wait and see. That deer is adding, those couple of deer are adding quite a bit of resource to Bact, so we'll see if that affects his play in the early feudal age. Loom coming from Bact. It seems like the feudal age click is imminent for him. At the moment, he's on 21 vills. MBL is on 22, and MBL will grab Loom and click up as well. So MBL going for the 1 extra villager, and the 21-22 villager population is how we will roll into the feudal age. So yeah, both players with a pretty normal build thus far. We're seeing a relatively fast feudal from both of them, and we'll have to see who decides to do what. MBL camping his scout out here in Bact's side. If we look from Bact's fog of war, we can see he's just now found MBL's woodline. He's also found his gold, and he's getting an idea of what the left flank of this area looks like. You will find MBL putting up a barracks, of course, since he is headed toward the feudal. Age on the other side, Bact has yet to start building his, but we'll see that any moment. Bact is going to palisade in the left flank here to add some structure, cut down the angles of attack of his opponent. He will be up to feudal, about one villager faster, of course, than MBL. Here comes the barracks from Bact. I wonder what this villager is going to do next for MBL. It's going to go back to gathering wood. So MBL will not be actively closing himself in, at least for now. Presumably going to get a little bit of an army on the field before walling in. But on the other side, we will see Bact palisading in and using a barracks as structure and pushing any and all aggression toward his TC. He's actually going to do that on the other side as well, and he's got quite a few villagers in the mix doing this. For a moment there, I think he had 5 vills building up all of these walls. So Bact is committed to walling himself in. Might slow his resource production down just slightly, but certainly worth it to cut down the angles of attack. So MBL now hitting feudal. Bact is also at feudal. He is going to drop a stable, 2 villagers on that. On the other side, we are going to see militia from MBL. In fact, we see a couple of villagers on gold, so we will probably see men-at-arms. In addition, MBL has not started to drop any other military buildings. So MBL's army is going to be a scout and some men-at-arms, presumably. We will wait and see about that. At the moment, MBL not on very much gold. Yep, there's the men-at-arms click up. And we will see pressure from MBL early on in this one. Unfortunately for MBL, he's going to come up against a walled Bacchiofro. And that is the last type of Bacchiofro he's looking to find. These palisades should do a pretty decent job against men-at-arms, but we'll wait and see how it goes. On the other side, we see MBL actually running his scout to the corner. He's drawn 2 of Bact's scouts against that scout, which is actually a very nice play. Anytime you can slow your opponent's scouts from getting to you, you're doing a good job. You can see that Bact is going to be chasing this scout potentially forever. Meanwhile, on the front, those man-at-arms should be able to, well, they have to make a decision. They have to either go in and take some TC arrow fire, or they have to start trying to break down these palisades. For the moment, MBL does not know about any of these palisades or any of this nonsense of which I speak. He will come by the TC here and do a little bit of arrow dodging. Nice little quick gate wall from Bact. He is a pro at that. And scouts on the front will give these men-at-arms quite a bit of trouble. So scouts v man-at-arms on the front. Bact has finally given up on chasing MBL's scout, and he will bring 4 scouts in the mix against these man-at-arms, and that spells doom for those poor little man-at-arms. Decent micro here from Bact, trying to move around. This scout taking a few hits, but getting quite a bit of hits in there for free, and we will see 5 scouts coming forward for Bact. On the other side, MBL has put out a spear, probably 2, and he is starting to wall himself in. He'll keep his scout in defense here to potentially slow down the scouts from Bact just a little. He'll also have a spear here ready to go. So those scouts come in as expected. Not a crazy Huns War build here for Bact, sending in the 5 scouts early, and he will be able to come into this area. He needs to dodge this man-at-arms, but we will keep an eye on that. Not going to be able to take that villager on the front with this spearman ready. That spearman will go down. Interestingly, Bact taking it on head-on. MBL will presumably be building another spear soon. He does have 2 in play. Those will be chasing Bact's scout around. Those scouts are unable to pick a villager on any side because the spears are there too quickly, but they will continue to run around. What's interesting here is that MBL is finishing closing up his side, so those scouts may be trapped in MBL's area. So, Bact continuing to try to work his way around and grab a vill. So many spears in play here for MBL. They will be menacing, dropping one of Bact's scouts, and really, this is too small of an area to run those scouts to another resource. When they run over to the wood, they're just not far enough away to stop and kill a vill. When they run over to this palisade, they're just not far enough away to kill that vill. I suppose we will see. That Vil could go down, but those spears will be awfully close behind. So that Vil will live, and at the moment, Bact is trapped in MBL's side. So it's just a matter of time here until these spears can chase around the scouts and take them down. Continuing to run in circles is MBL. So both players doing a decent job here. Bact has forced MBL to build quite a few spears, and he is keeping him busy with his scouts. Ideally, he could grab a villager or two in this aggression, but he is now trapped in, and it doesn't look like MBL is going to leave any weak villagers out to be picked off. So, those scouts continue to run around. We will check on backside real quick. Looks pretty good on this side. He's got a couple of nice woodlines. This woodline is a little precarious. A tower here or some archers would be a problem. On the back, we can see that he is taking gold with 5 vils, and he has quite a few villagers on farms. A couple of archer ranges are active for him. Archer range is also active for MBL. And on the back, we continue to see Bact running around. He will eventually get pincered by some spears here. MBL should be able to trap him. Oh, but there's a hole in the wall. Oh no. So, all the while, there was one little tiny hole in this wall for MBL, which is probably very annoying for him. So those scouts will live for now, a couple of them on pretty low HP, but they will still be in play, and Bact will be able to scout around the map. MBL Scout is also in play, and he's going to continue to get an idea of what this map is going to look like. Third archery range coming on the front for Bact, starting to drop another lumber camp, and is he double palisading? He may be doubling up his palisade walls here. Oh no, he's going to bring a stretch across this way to slow the pressure from MBL's archers. MBL will be clicking up to castle on 1851. That's a decent time, and he'll be ready to go for some castle age aggression, potentially upgrading these archers to crossbows before sending them in. Moving more villagers to gold is MBL, and for the moment he will not be pushing out of his area. He is just going to continue to happily take his own gold. This woodline on the front is a little bit skinny, so we'll have to keep an eye on that for pressure from Bact. If we look on backside, we can see that those archer ranges are full of archers and skirmishers. So a nice archer-skirmisher mix for Bact that will be coming up against pure archers from MBL. So we will have to keep an eye on that. At the moment, fletching just coming in for MBL. If we look at Bact, we can see that he has not upgraded any of these archers or skirmishers yet. So no fletching and no defensive upgrades for those guys. And they will be coming in against a straight archer mix. So MBL is going to have to do something a little bit interesting here in order to take on these armies, and we will keep an eye on it. Castle Age also coming for Bact. MBL also grabbing padded archer armor, so his archers will be relatively beefy. Bact's on the other side will not be upgraded at all, so advantage MBL there, but he certainly has a small group of archers here to go up against a rather large group of archers and skirms. Bact is grabbing fletching, and here comes that engagement we've been waiting for. It looks like MBL will not take that engagement. That makes an awful lot of sense to me. He is going to run those archers away and try to keep most of them alive. At the moment, losing 2 of them full free, losing a third as well. He is trying to get those scouts down, but at the moment, it looks like Bact has everything he needs here. Boncanero coming for MBL and crossbowmen, so he will get to Castle Age first, and his archers will be more upgraded. MBL moving away from that woodline to decrease the amount of villagers who will be under fire from this group of archers and skirms. Unfortunately, it looks like he's going to lose 1 on the front and possibly a second. Looks like he will lose an archer and a villager on the front. MBL continuing to queue up units in the archery range. I wonder if those are skirms now. Those are cavalry archers. So MBL will have cav archers, not too surprising considering the civilizations here. But unfortunately for MBL, losing quite a few of his crossbows on the front, trying to do some micro, but fighting uphill, actually doing some very nice micro here, dodging quite a few javelins from those skirmishers. Bact will grab elite skirmisher, bodkin arrow, and crossbowmen. MBL on the other side will have cav archers on the way, and we'll see this engagement continue to occur, one would assume. Spearmen on the front for MBL, University coming for Bact, no second TC for either player. Never mind, second TC coming here for MBL. That will do a nice job to protect his woodline. Bact has actually stonewalled in the left side, so he has doubled up his walling there, and that will keep him nice and safe on that flank. MBL's crossbows on the front have decided to head toward Bact. Bact grabbing bloodlines that will beef up potentially his cav archers. Siege workshop on the front for MBL, and this skirmisher mix is looking a little bit menacing. I wonder, there's only 2 or 3 crossbows in that whole mix, but they should be able to do some harassment of MBL. MBL is in the middle at the moment. He is in limbo. I wonder if he'll come back to fight this. Probably not. One would think crossbows versus skirms is not a fight you want, and he does have the double TCs here, which should protect his economy fairly well. Those skirms harassing over the top, bothering MBL and sending him away. He will have to make a decision as to whether to build another lumber camp. For now, he's just going to focus on these trees on the edge. Meanwhile, Bact has a second mix of archers and skirms on the front of MBL's area. Going to potentially push this palisade. We'll have to keep an eye on them. MBL's army has decided to take the long way around and come over to attack Bact from the side. Continued pressure here from Bact, doing a good job focusing on trying to get these palisades down. MBL will have a mangonel in play just in time. Let's see if he gets a shot off before Bact sees. Gets the first shot there, gets a few of these skirms down, knocks a lot of HP down on many others, so a decent free shot for him there. He will have to deal with Bact on the front, but it looks like MBL will be here in time to harass Bact's woodline. Needs to counter punch Bact. At the moment, MBL is up 6 vills, but he needs to get some aggression and some pressure on his opponent. Interestingly, Bact grabbing ballistics already, and what you can see here is really the reason for the title of this game. So MBL knows that there is one line of trees here, and he is waiting outside of the range of what Bact can see. Bact, as you can see here, doesn't know those archers are there. MBL is waiting for these villagers to chew up the last few wood on these trees. Interestingly, those villagers are going to leave this tree with 1 wood and start to push out forward, which is very, very serendipitous, I think, for Bact. Unless he's that good at micro that he's going to leave 1 wood on the tree that blocks him in. So MBL is waiting outside, waiting for this wood to be chewed up by Bact, and he will wait for that villager to continue to work. You can see that he keeps coming in close enough to see it, but he will be outside the range of those villagers. Of course, crossbowmen having a long line of sight so that they can see ahead of them before they fire. You can see that Bact has now finished chewing up that last tree, and MBL will keep an eye on that. He's being very patient on this woodline, and that is going to potentially allow him to get more villagers. He could have come in very early and picked 1 or 2, but that woodline, when it's intact, is not something that he can push into. Now he's in. He gets 6 vills on the front for Bact. The population difference is now 14. He also is able to push Bact off of his gold here, and it looks like MBL potentially throwing a knockout punch here because of beautiful patience on the edge. Absolutely beautiful play there from MBL, and he will continue to harass Bact and head toward this second TC. Meanwhile, Bact is getting in on MBL's side. University coming down for MBL. He's still being harassed on this woodline from Bact. He will have a mangonel, or he'll have 2 mangonels in play. Those will do a good job to at least distract this archer and skirmisher mix. We do hear shots coming on both sides. Not seeing any of those landing for MBL. Keeping that mangonel alive for the moment with 2 villagers, but not ideal. You will get a shot in on those skirms on the right side there for Bact. Bact is not microing this area right now, and he is losing a lot for free. So MBL doing a nice job to repair that mangonel and keep it alive. He's going to get tons of damage here on Bact, and Bact's army here is now effectively neutered. That group is so low on HP that they can't do a whole lot. MBL will continue to try to cut them down with this mangonel, but for the moment they are still inside. A couple couple of cav archers coming. Another good shot there from MBL, and MBL should be able to clear up this mix from Bact. Meanwhile, on the other side, that hole in the wall let these cav archers through. Bact is getting a nice little counterpunch in here. The problem is there is a mangonel in play, and quite a few cav archers here from MBL. Those are going to cut these to mincemeat, and it looks like Bact is effectively pincered here in the middle. Another nice mangonel shot there from MBL, and he's just getting so much damage done with this one mangonel. So it looks like Bact is totally trapped in again on MBL's side. MBL with some really nice play here, doing some very nice trapping. MBL will grab bloodlines now. That will beef up his cav archers. We can see that Bact's are +2/+1. MBL's are also +2/+1. And we see Bact's army there just totally wiped out. Bact still does have quite a few military units, but he is behind by 11 in the villager count. He's starting to build forward and grab some gold here. At the moment, this mining camp is not a clandestine mining camp because it's guarded by so many skirms. It should be totally safe. But we will see what MBL decides to do with this huge pack of archers. At this point, this is MBL's game to win, in my opinion. Certainly doing a very nice job grabbing quite a few of Bact's vills on the back, and that is going to be incredibly useful to him. Punching through that wood line just at the right moment and pushing Bact off of his gold for some time, killing 6 or 7 vills. Beautiful play from MBL. In the middle, he will have an army on both sides of him. He will focus on that mangonel first, and he should be able to clean up any and all of Bact's archers now. Thumb ring coming for MBL. That will increase his accuracy on those cav archers. And here come villagers forward for MBL. If we look, he doesn't have any any stone in the bank, so we will assume that that is going to be a TC. Going to drop a TC there on the front. The only thing in his way is going to be this mangonel. So MBL has finally pushed out. He will take a shot from that mangonel. It will take quite a few HP off of some of those cav archers. Those are still +2/+1 with bloodlines. On the other side, Bact's are +2/+1 with bloodlines as well. Skirmishers in the mix for Bact. He needs to try to get into the game. He needs to try to get some of these cav archers for free. At the moment, Bact's army is totally pincered here in the middle. This group will certainly be wiped out. The problem for MBL is that he's fighting elite skirms on the other side and losing quite a few cav archers in the process. Villagers on that side trying to put down a TC. These skirms may be able to deny it for a moment, but a mangonel will soon be in play for MBL. MBL is going to full on engage these skirms for the moment, probably distracting their fire so that this mangonel can get in close enough. Let's see, will we see a mangonel shot here? That mangonel shot will head toward these skirms on the side, and it looks like Bact's aggression is going to be pushed away for the moment. Bact is now +2/+2 on his skirms. That is beefing them up quite a bit. MBL is still +2/+1 on his archery range units, and he is bringing in more cav archers. Of course, the hunt's having those beautiful, cheap cav archers. Might as well build as many as you can. MBL is probably happy with all of this since he has put a TC up on the front. He's now on 4 TCs, and he has a 5th coming. So lots of TCs from MBL. Have to see if he can continue villager production from all of them, but they will do a really nice job to keep his economy safe from all of these cav archers. Grabbing a few more cav archers on the front and a mangonel is MBL. Bact has also pushed forward and dropped a TC in front of his gold on the front. He has a 2nd TC on gold and wood on this side. So 4 TCs for Bact, 5 TCs for MBL at the moment. MBL pulling a little bit away in the score. He's up by 1,000. He's also up by 24 vills at the moment. More archery ranges coming from Bact. If we look at his resources, we can see he's gathering plenty of gold now. And I wonder if he'll be beefing up his cav archer units. He will. MBL continuing to be aggressive with a mangonel on the front. He may lose that to these cav archers in just a moment. Have to keep an eye on it. Looks like that mangonel will go down. So those cav archers will grab that mangonel. MBL in retaliation will put a little bit of damage on Bact's cav archers. So all in all, we have a game that's starting to slow down. A 6th TC coming into play for MBL. MBL with the early aggression with the military lead, and he's actually kind of keeping those units in play and using them to expand his economy. Keeping Bact busy, taking a villager here and there. and continuing to build up his villager advantage. MBL is on 96 at the moment, Bact is on 70. So a 26 villager advantage for MBL. But Bact still has a fighting chance here. He has safe woodlines, he has safe gold, he's got safe farming, and he just seems like he can gather whatever he wants. He's also taking a little stone on the back. So by no means is Bact done here. The problem is that he is falling behind. Right now, 26 villager advantage, 27, 28 vills advantage for MBL. So, both players kind of waiting each other out, both being patient and building up strong economies, and we may see an imperial battle here. To keep an eye on it. It looks like Bact's Cav archers will head around one side of the horn, MBL's will head around the other. MBL is going to catch Bact a little bit unaware here. He's going to grab a vill for free there and potentially come around the side. Where is he headed? Nope, he's just going to come in with that large pack of Cav archers, take one vill, and take off. Bact, on the other hand, is coming all the way around to the left flank of MBL. He may be able to catch out quite a few of these villagers, not too many Cav archers in defense for MBL. Interestingly, he's going to head for the woodline, and there is a tree here that has just been fully chopped down, which undoubtedly Bact can see. If he wants to run in there, he can. 3 vills down on the front for MBL, and here comes Bact into MBL's side. That TC is going to be enough to push Bact away for the moment, but he will grab a couple of villagers on the side. So MBL doing a very nice job, Bact doing a very nice job to get a few vills back here. Unfortunately, not great micro here from Bact. He is taking tons of arrow fire here for free, although he is now at the top of the hill. Actually, no, he's out of range of that TC, so he's just fine. So those Cav archers will continue to push. The second half of that initial army that has split off to the side will push over here and continue to harass villagers, grabbing a few on the front. Meanwhile, MBL has decided to make a move. He is full on sending in rams. Those will be supported by Cav archers and a few mangonels, and we see light cavalry coming. So interesting play here from MBL, waiting for Bact's army to really get in and annoy his economy, and then has gone forward. At the moment, Bact is going to have a field day eating up these juicy villagers over here at this clandestine mining camp. He's going to grab many vills here from MBL, while MBL's army is distracted on the front lines. Those Cav archers should be able to focus down quite a few of these vills. At the moment, they are going to focus on the light cavalry, which is fine, but it will slow down their killing. Those light cavalry will be cleaned up, and Bact will be free to probably take all of these vills. So MBL losing a lot of his economy on the side, but on the front, he's taken down the TC, and he's continuing to make a push. A knight now in the mix for MBL. And a couple of elite skirms headed over for MBL to try to clean up some of these Cav archers. That will slow down their aggression. On the other side, we see continued pushing on the front, from MBL. And yeah, we're going to see continued pushing here for him. Potentially, he can take over the front while Bact's army is distracted on the back. Bact has grabbed so many villagers on this woodline and on this gold. It's really going to keep him in this game. At the moment, he is still down by 22 vills, 20 vills about. But MBL will clean that up. He will have the 20 vill advantage going in. But Bact doing a pretty nice job using that army to take down quite a few of MBL's units. Light cavalry in on the side, rather scout cavalry in. I wonder if this is that initial scout rush from Bact. Those will grab a villager on this side and idle this economy for a moment. Meanwhile, that aggression on the front for MBL is really starting to slow down. He's looking like he's fully pushed away here. These rams are probably going to go down if Bact focuses on them. He can take them down. There's such little HP left on all of them. But Bact is going to leave those alone. He's going to head forward, using the mangonel to grab a few of those. And unfortunately for MBL, his aggression and his moment may have passed for the front line, at least for now. Wolf fighting on the side. We will not see a wolf kill in this game. That is incredibly sad to me. Another TC for Bact on the side. That will allow him to take both of these gold piles and wood in relative safety. MBL continuing to push on the front. Now with elite skirms, he will be up against some mangonels here in just a moment to see if we see an epic mangonel shot Doesn't look like we will. MBL is finally going to grab the second defensive upgrade for his archer units, and he now has +1 defense knights with bloodlines on the front, ready to go in and take out these mangonels. So MBL continuing to build light cavalry and knights. Bact is still working on an army of cav archers, and those will be around the side soon. MBL still taking gold on the side here at this clandestine mining camp. I just like the word clandestine. We have three. What do we have? We have 3 staples on the front. Wow, sorry about that. It's early over here. 3 staples on the front for MBL. Those should be able to rush down these mangonels quite soon. You can see there's quite a few knights in there queued up. MBL will come forward with a set of knights first and pop out all of the cavalry there to grab these mangonels. It's going to take tons of arrow fire in the process, but I think it's going to be absolutely worth it for him in the long run, taking down all of those mangonels on the front, and he will effectively take out the pressure from Bact. Meanwhile, on the back, Bact is continuing to pressure this clandestine mining camp. Bact has just now clicked up to Imperial, so I think we will see an Imperial Age war here. Continued fighting from skirmishers on the front for MBL. Just losing so many villagers on this side. Very unfortunate for MBL, but in the long run, I think he's still in the villager lead by 12. He's probably stopped villager production at this point, but yeah, not ideal for him. At least he's going to get these cav archers for free. Bact does not seem to be microing them. He's just left them there to die. So those will go down. Meanwhile, on the front, we have continued action. We see another TC from Bact that is trying to come up. MBL has denied that for the moment. He's actually trying to focus it down with 1 mangonel. Continuing to kill his own mangonel on the front. That is not ideal. Mangonels tend to do that. They have a mind of their own. A couple archer ranges coming on the front for MBL. He is grabbing handcart, and we would expect to see him click up not very soon, because he does not have the food or the gold to do it. So MBL continuing with Castle Age aggression. He's going to grab another mangonel there on the front from Bact. The score lead at the moment is 500, but Bact is happily taking gold and wood on the side, and MBL does not even know this part of the map exists. So Bact doing a good job to hold up to the pressure. Really lost a lot of vills early, was way behind. He has survived to the Imperial Age, and he's trying to claw his way back into this one. Certainly getting to Imperial Age first will give him a huge advantage. So those archer ranges on the front for MBL are tuning up elite skirms, and continued knights continue to roll out of the stables. Elite skirms also coming forward for MBL, still leaving this clandestine mining camp with a couple of miners on it. Meanwhile, MBL's economy has expanded quite a bit to the left flank of this area, and he is taking stone on that side. On the front, we see MBL still sending in knights to focus down mangonels, but Bact is holding his area at least. MBL has a little more map control here, but Bact is doing a really nice job of keeping himself in the game. That vill on the front will not be able to drop this TC for the moment. Imperial Age comes from Bact. We see Forging from MBL. That will beef up his knights even more. They are now +1/+2 with bloodlines. Rams on the front for Bact, but those seem doomed if these light cavalry focus on them, or even one of the knights. That TC on the front for Bact has completed, so he can now start to take some of this gold in relative safety. So, Heavy Plow, Bracer, and Hussar coming from Bact, so we will see some Hussars in the mix from Baciofro quite soon. MBL, on the other hand, is still booming up his economy. He doesn't have a whole lot of food in the bank, and he will not be clicking up to Imperial right away. He is on 141 vills, which is an absolutely huge amount of villagers. But he does also have the bigger military, and he is continuing to harass on the front. So back to Imperial first, but what can he do with it? At the moment, it's going to be Hussars. Is happily taking gold on the side. I think MBL probably feels really good about this game because he doesn't know about that gold off to the side for Bact. But MBL's doing a good job to keep pressure on the front. He is idling this TC, and he's taking out quite a few cav archers here. Not too worried about the arrow fire from this TC. Those skirmishers are obviously beefy against arrows. And here comes MBL with light cavalry into the economy of Bact. So those light cavalry will be in. They will try to get some pressure on. One would think they can grab a few vills here and idle quite a bit of Bact's economy. Meanwhile, on the front, Rams working to try to take this TC down again. MBL does not like this TC on the front for Bact. And that Ram for the moment will survive. It will get quite a bit of damage on this TC and maybe even take it down eventually. Iron casting coming for MBL, chemistry for Bact, as well as chain burning armor for Bactiofro. On the front, that TC is actually taking a lot of damage from this one Ram. The villagers will focus it down and that Ram will die, but doing quite a lot of damage considering there was just one Ram in play. Here come the cavalry from MBL. Wonder if they'll focus on these villagers. They will not. They will come forward before those cav archers. Meanwhile, on the back, MBL doing a good job to idle quite a bit of Bact's economy. Those light cavalry have been pushed out, but interestingly, MBL is going to discover a juicy woodline here. He's also eventually going to discover this gold, and it looks like this could be the beginning of the end for Bact. He's clawed his way back, he is Imperial, but his opponent now knows about his secret resource area, and I would not be surprised to see continued pressure in that area. On the front, this TC is idle. Another Ram coming into play. This one might actually get the job done. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Defensive castle here from Bact. So both players understanding the gravity of this central forward area. You can control some stone and some gold here, and you'll be able to push in to Bact's area, or Bact can start to push out, depending on who takes control. At the moment, MBL will certainly take that TC down, but this castle may go up. On the front, those villagers are working in relative safety. These cav archers are cutting down those light cavalry pretty quickly. The Czar's in the mix for Bact. More Rams coming from MBL. Those will finish off that TC, but this castle seems like it may go up. At the moment, we are seeing that castle continue to work on that castle. Quite a bit of action here. Not a lot of cav archers for MBL to kill these villagers, but he's certainly idling quite a few of them and grabbing quite a few of them. The archers for Bact are really cleaning up a lot of MBL's army while they focus on these hills, and that castle is awfully close. This could be the beginning of the end or the end of the end, depending on whether this castle goes up. MBL has just now clicked up to Imperial. Bact doing a great job with his cav archers there, and he's going to clean up the front, and he is going to stay in this game. So that castle will be able to defend his forward gold and this stone. So Bact is still in it. He's in it to win it. Castle coming from MBL on the side of Bact's little secret economy area. MBL is now in and harassing again on the flank of Bact. I wonder if these Hussars will be here in time to annoy this castle building. We will have to see if Bact sees it. Looks like he does. Those Hussars will be in and they will start harassing these villagers. Interestingly, Bact is going to react very quickly and bring in some cav archers as well. So it looks like MBL is probably going to lose any and all villagers who are working on the front here. So Bact's going to get quite a few villagers on the front. MBL continuing to idle Bact's economy in the rear. He's going to work his way around now that Bact has cut down all of the wood that protected this area. He will work his way in and grab quite a few villagers from Bact, and he will continue to work his way up to the Imperial Age. So we have a full-on Imperial War going on here. MBL with the huge villager advantage, about 50 more vills than Bact, and he is trying to build forward with more stables. Bact will have a slight military advantage. No, he'll have a slight military disadvantage for the moment. So MBL leading in both the villager count and the military count. He is in with light cavalry and annoying Woodline, and then he is popping back out, and now he's going back in. So this castle on the front for the moment is denied. We're actually going to see a siege workshop there from Bact, and he can potentially keep the pressure on. Those cav archers for the moment from Bact are in. They are going to try to annoy this economy. They are going to find a defensive castle, which is unfortunate for Bact. Hopefully he doesn't run MBL over to this woodline. It looks like he has. So now MBL knows about this clandestine lumber area from Bact, and he will send those light cavalry toward those free vills. So free villagers there for the picking. MBL will start to stonewall up his side, really getting defensive there so that he can't be hit on that flank, and he will have light cavalry up the wazoo. Those light cavalry continuing to get pressure on, continuing to idle Bact's economy, and doing a very nice job to keep the villager discrepancy very high. That discrepancy is still at nearly 50. My math isn't that good, but it's nearly 50, I suppose, maybe a little more. Meanwhile, MBL trying to sneak more villagers in to finish that castle. He's going to lose a whole bunch of villagers on the side. So Bact is still in this, still grabbing vills, still holding his own. He is going to finish mining up this gold quite soon. The gold as well on this side has been mined up, and he's down to just 2 piles left. He does have a couple of relics which will help him in the long run, but it seems like MBL is starting to try to make a push, continuing to try to make a push. On MBL side, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of gold left. He's continuing to raid now with Hussars. Those will be in to try to idle some of this economy. Meanwhile, on the front, we see a lot of Hussars pushing in. Obviously, a trash unit that can do a whole lot of damage. They are pushing in and sort of going to pincer these Cav archers. Probably going to lose a lot of Hussars in that mix, but they are quite arrow resistant. You can see 10 damage for the Cav archers and 6 defense for the Hussars. And that's going to do a nice job. Actually, MBL pushing back all the way back into this TC at the moment with those Hussars. Very interesting. TC firing obviously arrows as well, but it looks like Bact will lose quite a few Cav archers here. Interestingly, this little ball of Cav archers is going to be a decent little play for Bact. He's going to get quite a few Hussars on the front. The problem is he's trading Cav archers for trash units. Those trash units will be in to take down the ram that is almost going to finish this castle off. MBL with a little bit of a fortunate play there. He just barely kept that castle alive. He will get that up. It doesn't look like Bact has anything around to damage it. In the front, MBL is starting to make a push with rams on that forward castle. So MBL is continuing to be incredibly aggressive. He's got units really everywhere on Bact's side. Bact has mined out his gold. I believe MBL has mined out most of his gold as well. And we will see watchtowers and a castle here. MBL's been doing this a little bit recently. He's been building very late game watchtowers. And those will be in range of these farms to harass them. And in the end, we see the GG from Bact. So, a really nice game from both players. MBL with that beautiful push on this Woodline, and Bact really did a good job to stay in it until Imperial Age. But in the end, we'll see MBL get the win. So, my name is Tyler, aka Killer B. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this game. Please leave me a comment if you have any ideas about future games that you'd like to see. Alright, thanks. Bye.